by end of this course, this is what our vision is. You should be able to understand, fleet sales process and navigate, easily navigating the system to look after your sales document flows. And you will know how to create, change, and delete your fleet sales quotation. And you know how to convert a sales quotation into a sales order. I shouldn't just say sales quotation. I should say sales quotations and orders. Yeah, because you are dealing with two documents. Quotation is one, then another's order. And so the relationship between quotation and order is pretty much you create quotation first, because at that moment it's just customer's interest, right? That doesn't really convert into a real sales order yet. So definitely you issue the quotation to the customer. If they really interested, if they decided to go with the purchase, of course, we can convert the quotation into a sales order by then. And the last but not least, you definitely know, and you should be controlling the pricing for a fleet car. That's what we're covering here today, because the team we have on this session is mainly the fleet sales team. Of course, to finish the end-to-end process, someone from delivery team may step in and also arrange the delivery for the car, and it depends on the terms and conditions negotiated on this sales transaction. Maybe some down payment needs to be gathered by finance team, and could be some very specialized payment terms being negotiated. So that will be taken care of by Lily's team. I don't see they are here on this session. I just want to let you know, from end-to-end process, other teams will step in and do their portion of work. But for our team here, for fleet, we are mainly focusing on the first two steps. We receive the quotation, we work on it, and we give back to customer, follow up with them. And after it's confirmed, then we are working on the sales order and the pricing on the sales order. Okay, any questions before we move to the next slide? All right. So let's have a look at the next one. It's the curriculum. The content, high level content we're gonna go through today. There's related period of time being allocated. I wouldn't say we will precisely follow this time allocation, but we will try our best. So we will do a quick navigation about the fleet sales documents in the system. And I'll show you hands-on how to manage your quotation creation, and also look at the pricing information on the quotation. And then later on, if this quotation receive positive feedback from the customer, how do you convert it into a sales order? And after that, we will look at how to set up price for our fleet cars. Last but not least, we will go through the reporting of the fleet sales. All right. Okay, so I believe now we are stepping into the demo session. It's like a real life, system demo. So we have this recorded step by step. You can later on revisit how these steps can be done in the system, right? So yeah, let's just jump into the left demo session. Okay. First topic we're gonna go through here is fleet sales document flow, like we said in the high level content. Well, you can break down the end-to-end fleet sales, into so many steps. Some of the I sequencing them based on the most sunny scenarios. If nothing goes wrong, this should be it. However, when we're selling a car, especially when we're selling a fleet, it won't be that black and white, super easy. Or say, hey, yeah, this step is done. Yeah, will you get the full payment on time? How do you gather the the outstanding balance? Will the customer call back asking for different documents? yeah, so whole bunch of the questions may happen in your real life, in your real, production, environment. But here, I think at least, yeah, this is if everything remains positive, this is pretty much you will see. Yeah. So step one, fleet sales. You guys will receive calls from customers. Hey, I'm interested with buying fleet from you guys. Can you give me a quotation? How much I should pay based on my requirements? Blah blah blah. So you can create quotations and confirm with the customer about those details, right? And then issue. Well, when we see this quotation, pretty much a couple of things you will look into. I believe you are the experts. Knows much better than me. Terms and conditions, payment terms, and wrapping instructions or upfitting instructions, or whatever requirements they will ask you to put together. And of course, everything comes with a price. So you will look at your pricing, say, hey, this is how much, this is how much. So that's how you work on the quotation. And after the quotation, you send back to them, and they will wait for a while. They will come back and say, oh yeah, I want to carry on. If they decided to move on, then you have to create the quotation convert the quotation into a sales order. So pretty much we call this quotation is a win, right? So, and we now really transform a sales opportunity now into a real sales transaction, right? A real sales document. In that case, you got the sales order, and sales order you don't need to create from scratch, because all the information is pretty much copied from quotation to sales order. It's flowing automatically. And after that, of course, based on your T's and C's, many things, you pretty much need to talk to finance. Hey, internally, say, hey, on this sales order, we're supposed to receive $20,000 by end of October, something like that, right? Because other than that, you wouldn't really take it seriously. You need some down pay first before you work on it, right? So you need to get your security payment. So that's why FI team could come into the session and also process down payment for you. And FI team could issue pro forma invoice if they want to gather some any payments, right? They can request the customer to pay related outstanding balance or whatever. But this is optional. It's case by case. If for some cases you don't require the full amount before delivery, well, you can gather it based on the T's and the C's negotiated on that particular sales, right? And of course, delivery team, they will need to allocate the right vans and maybe have your wrappings or upfittings either done in-house or maybe outsource it to a supplier and finish the related, work, or, help you figure out how to finish those steps. And then the last step, they will let the car go, ship the car, right? So yeah, so finance team will of course issue the final customer invoice and get paid. I mean, these steps starting from 3 to 6, I would say 3 looks like a very possible will happen, anyway, based on I heard from Cindy many times. Certain security payment has to be received before you guys really work on it. So I would say from 4 to 4, 5, 6, this really needs some internal collaboration between the teams, right? You don't want to let the car leave the warehouse before you receive the payment, or you think it's okay, you will issue the car, and because you already received a significant amount of payment, or maybe because different customer, priority or whatever. So those steps I will leave to the team, manage it, based on a very, specific situation.
Hey, may I ask a question here? So, Sidley, do we need to receive full amount for the fleet sales before we deliver the car, or we can receive payment after?
I think that that's a question for you, Lily, really. I mean, ideally, I would like them to be able to have a check, for example, that they provide us upon delivery. I mean, we need to have payment, but it might not be in our bank before the delivery team goes to physically deliver the vehicles. But I think I need your clearance and okay with that, you know?
Because currently the information I have is all the cars we need to receive full payment before we deliver to the customers. So I'll double check with fleet. Because this is most likely applied to retail customers for sure. We need to get full payment before we deliver the car. But for fleet, I don't think I have the discussion with the C-suite.
I think you're going to want to have that money up front on the fleet more so
Yeah.
even on a personal, because you're talking about 5 cars that you can get stuck for versus just one.
What about if it's a lease? You would just need a signed lease document, not a lease payment, so to speak.
No, we're not doing this at this moment.
Yeah, we're not doing. I don't think so. So they're all going to be either they'll be waiving a check, and I would like to definitely be able to cash said check to make sure that no stop payments are done while after we deliver.
So Nicole, for the fleet sales, if we would like to receive all the proceeds or the income from the funding from customers before we deliver the car, are we be able to do that in the system?
Yeah, you will just exactly follow the same process as we aligned
Okay.
solo cars. Just for the team, maybe for fleet team, you probably haven't seen this called down payment billing process. We developed with finance team and delivery team previously. I mean, yeah, definitely we put sales here as well. 'Cause for solo, I think it's more delivery team is working on their end. For fleet, I guess the only difference is this part, right? You won't have this $250 reservation fee from e-commerce, and you won't receive your sales order from e-commerce. I would say reservation, not sales order. But yeah, so your process will start with a quotation, but starting from quotation is like order confirmed. If yes, you want to create it into a sales order, and then from this step onwards, I believe it's pretty same.
Okay, so Nicole, we know currently we couldn't get the fleet sales order from our website.
No,
okay, so in the case if we from website side, we can make some change from website and identify which one is fleet sales, which one is consumer sales. Are we be able to bridge that to SAP by different sales channel, like by fleet and the consumer sales?
Yeah, definitely. If that's a requirements and also it's something will consistently happen in the future, like a fleet, reservations will also be received from e-commerce. Right now, I think it's only one car each time, right? So for fleet, if they are selling a few cars, I know current setup of e-commerce doesn't support that yet. But that could be something being added for future stage.
Yeah. So Nicole, can I ask you really quickly? So to Lily's point, because this is why we were late, right? Because we were having more of an internal discussion as well about a couple things. But the point is that we still are going to follow this process, right? For larger customers where the fleet team would input orders manually. And I could see this really being for larger fleet customers, right? But we do want the ability in the future to be able to have fleet customers go to our website. And these are going to likely be more small business customers, if you will.
Yeah.
Have a business, but want multiple quantities.
Yeah.
From your end, what details, what triggers do you need from the website in order to be able to categorize those to fleet's billing channel?
Yeah, so Sydney, I might not be the right person to answer the question because that sales order or reservation has to be coded on the e-commerce portal first. I can imagine they will need a flag. Say, hey, do you think this reservation is for individual solo or for fleet, then they can pick one, right? It's like a checkbox, either or, so they can check it. Then this information can be added to the interface between e-commerce and the SAP. Then when we receive this one, we at least understand what's the differentiator between normal solo sales and a fleet sales. And another thing would be quantity, because but that doesn't work for you if your fleet sales order truly only carries one car. Yeah, it may happen too, right? So in that case, quantity is not a good differentiator. But the majority of the time, it's pretty rare. Individual customer will buy more than one car at the same time on the same reservation. And for fleet customer, it's pretty rare. They only buy one car, right? Yeah. So we can leverage quantity, but in my opinion, we better have a more robust, information like a flag or something.
Okay, and we're planning on implementing that on the website now, where we're working towards having the flag so we could identify if it's for a business or if it's for personal consumer use. And then I'm just giving you a heads up. I just wanted to make sure on your end that you think that that would be possible, that as long as we have the flag, that it could then come into fleet's billing. I already forgot the term. Sorry, billing.
Sales channel.
Thank you. Sales channel.
You have a different distribution channel. Your distribution channel is 30 and the solo cars is 10. Yeah. So yeah, as long as we have that, we should be able to. Technically, I'm not concerned at all. I think it's just currently we haven't built that yet.
Okay, perfect. And then the other thing, to Lily's point, just really quick, Lily, and Nicole is going to show this as well, but on the order piece, once the order is placed, you'll see, but in the email templates that we did with the invoice, it also includes the payment instructions too in the email.
Yeah.
So that we can collect payment prior to delivery.
Okay, I will double check about the payment, but as far as I remember, it should be before we deliver the car.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless there's, special approval.
Right. Okay, perfect.
Nicole, one more question is, for the delivery team, how do they know the car is ready to delivery? Because for fleet sales, there may be telemax installation, wrapping program, other outfitting. So are they be able to know that in the system, the car has gone through all the process and then it's ready for the delivery team to deliver the car?
Yeah, I think that's a question to Brian. I think Brian had access to VMS, vehicle management system. So yeah, I believe all these loose link, hard link, allocation activities will be done before a car can be shipped out of to the customer. Yeah. So Brian, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm the expert to answer that question.
Sorry, what was the question again? I've got logistics things happening.
It's okay, Brian, I'll answer it. Lily, to answer your point, Brian and I are working on it. So we met last week internally to kind of understand a little bit more about that delivery flow. And so once the fleet team places an order, it will actually then move over to delivery. And we're going to have the delivery team's not even aware of some of the changes that we're making. So, but we're working on it now, and internally what that flow is going to be with the wrapping, the upfitting, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but just to let you know, there's lots of work for the operational side. According to your sales order, they need to have the repair and the service order to go through all those work, and then pass the information to delivery team. Then they know the car has been, upfitting and outfitting according to the customer requirement to deliver.
Yes, but
I just asking like a surprise in SAP if we have that information to check, right? Because we couldn't keep all the information in our mind and calling each other, email each other. Okay, so I guess from billing side, delivery team is not be able to see any of that information, right? So they have to go to vehicle management system and see where the status of the car and if it's ready to deliver. Am I right, Nicole?
I don't think I'm the right person to answer a delivery question. Would it be Tom?
Okay, let's keep up with the trailing. Yeah, because it's a whole picture in the system.
Yeah, I understood, Lily. Again, understood you need to see the end-to-end process for sure in the future. Right now, this session is more focused for seniors team to know how to manage their hands-on quotation creation and pricing and sales order creation. Yeah. So yeah, definitely, I believe end-to-end really deserves a closer look of by all the team members in a collaborative way. But yeah, right now we don't have VMS expert on this call, so especially delivery related questions, I don't think I'm at the right position to answer. Okay. All right, let's carry on. So so this is the document flow. And yeah, if you don't mind, let me jump into the system and do a quick live demo on the document flow. So Cindy, your team as sales people, you will all the time get access to a whole bunch of sales related, well, we call it groups, right? Like sales order, sales overview, sales order monitoring, all this stuff. And you click on sales order this group. So here are the tiles will show up under this group. And you, of course, will have access to all of them. And if you click on, manage sales orders, this is where, if you want to check, okay, where am I at with any sales order or whatever. You come in here, you can click on fleet orders. You may not have fleet order because I set up, on my own. You just need to follow what I did here, like filter by your order type, ZFT. That's the only order type assigned to fleet sales orders. It's unique for fleet sales. So you won't get any other people's order. For example, service sales order or part service order or even solo sales order. You won't get those if you filter out by ZFT. That's yours. Now click on Go. So here are all the sales orders, belongs to your team. And you see you have a very specific number range, 100 something, right? And for part sales, their number range starts with 2. For services, their number range starts with 4. For solos, their number range starts with 5. So by doing this, by segregation of the numbers, it's easily for us, other than drill down to the details, you already know, oh, this is whose sales order. Okay, so from the dashboard here, this is like a reporting-ish, dashboard. It's live data. So you can see you have a whole bunch of sales orders stays in the open status. If you click open, you will say, oh, there's a quotation, right? So preceding document is a quotation. Of course, that's the customer's query or whatever. Then we converted it into a real sales order, and this sales order currently it's blocked for invoicing because we haven't really started work on it. So it's in a very initial status, open status. So that's how you track your document flow. So for example, you do have something like in progress. If you select those ones, you can see, oh, this one I started with a quotation. Later on, there's a sales order created. I do have invoice. However, I don't have delivery yet. So this could be a bad data in the testing system because maybe in the real situation, you should always issue delivery before you create the invoice. Or maybe you should even have pro forma invoice, which you will need to issue to customer to gather the outstanding balance. But for this one, looks like you haven't done any delivery yet, but you already invoiced them. Will this may happen in the future in the real case? It may happen, but I mean, it's more relying on the teams, different teams to, if it really happens, there must be a, exception, there must be a reason why we do this, right? Okay. So from the status of the sales order, you can see nothing is rejected, which means all these sales orders are valid. Under certain situations, if you see a sales order, unfortunate, is no longer going to be, fulfilled or no longer to be delivered, something like that, you probably can delete it. So yesterday we showed the other teams how to delete a sales order. So if you have a sales order and right now it's nothing rejected, so we call it a two-step deletion. The first step is you may not just remove from the system yet. You click on this sales order and go to change sales order. And from there, you see you do have an option called a reject document, and you can reject it. So you have to give a reason. SAP is asking you why rejected, right? You can say, oh, customer wants a better delivery date. Okay, copy it. And then now you can save it. Yeah. So now you goes back to your screen. You can see for this particular order, everything rejected. So it gives you a clear signal. This sales order is no longer valid anymore, right? And you cannot issue it, deliver it, and invoice it. The system will block you for further activities, which is correct. However, sometimes if you delete this sales order today, maybe in another 2 months, you think, oh, it's too annoying. Every day I saw obsolete sales order sitting here. I don't like it. If you want to completely remove it from the screen, what you can do is you click on this, change sales order, and from there you click more, and goes to sales document and click delete. So when you do this, you will get a reminder, do you really want to delete? Yeah, if you click yes and exit. So what happens is the system physically removes that document. You see that 1007 no longer shows in your dashboard anymore. So of course, step 2 is more serious. Yeah, it's permanent. You cannot take it back. The first step after you reject it, if you change your mind, you go back, you can still, call it back, right? Yeah, so I think it's not it's just let you know how you're gonna manage this two-step thing. Yeah.
Lily? Hey, Lily, didn't we talk about this earlier this morning with Val? And Val was pretty matter of fact that we should never delete orders.
Yeah, because it's a record in the system. So if we delete that order in the system, do we still have the auditing trail?
I don't think you have the auditing trail. That's why SAP give you the rejection option. Yeah. If you done the second step, it's gone. It's gone from pretty much everywhere. You cannot even display that one.
Val was very adamant about we shouldn't, under no circumstances, ever completely delete an order.
Okay, so in that case, we can record issue or a request. I would say a request. In that case, we will make sure nobody had access to do the second step. Okay, if you have you want to physically remove it, you will be hard stopped. So in that case,
reject yes, delete completely no.
Okay.
So if it's rejected, which means the order has been canceled, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yes.
So is there anywhere, clearly say the order status as canceled? Is it possible?
Well, if it's rejected, this means this order is canceled. It's just it's just
our team just need to remember the new term.
Yeah, okay. It's everything rejected. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to our slides. Actually, we talked about the document flow of the sales order. We even showed how to delete a sales order, or we just should remain or how to reject it. Shouldn't go to delete. Okay, now let's look at how to create a fleet sales quotation. I would say quotation first if we look at the steps, right? Of course, this slide means you definitely will look at your fleet sales. fleet sales always falls under sales org 2100, distribution channel 30, and division 01. I use this sales order as an example. This is always you will see when you're trying to access a fleet sales order. This is the information. Well, you will definitely create a quotation, QT, and a sales order type would be ZFT. Again, quotation is something, well, now we're saying, hey, yeah, we want to leverage it because we want to let the customer, see all the detailed pricing and confirm that and then come back with acceptance, right? But without quotation, can you directly create a sales order? The answer is yes, you can. However, it just may not happen that frequently. I doubt the customer will say, oh yeah, I'm very sure I don't need a quote. Just go ahead, create a sales order. I want to buy this. Well, if that happens, nothing wrong. You just never really have a quotation phase. You directly jump into sales order. Nothing wrong with that. You can just make the exact same pricing, on the sales order. Yeah, that's it. And let's now demonstrate the step of how to create the quotation and later on how to convert into a sales order. All right, any questions before we go there? So quotation.
Yeah, I have a question, Nicole.
Sure.
Sorry. So I'm not real bright. So, and for me, it's all about making it as easy as possible. I'm trying to understand. Can you go back to the previous page real quick?
Mm-hmm.
So we've got kind of all these channels that we've got to go through to create a fleet sales order.
Mm-hmm.
Why can it not just be configured where it says, create sales order and you drop type of sales order fleet, and then it just loads it right from there, and all these little channels happen behind the scenes?
Yeah, that's a very interesting, for
other companies, other software portals that competitors use. I hate to use Tesla, I know we talk about it a lot, but
yeah.
My understanding is that they just go in there and in the drop-down menu says create a sales order, type fleet, type retail, boom, and then they go to town. I like I said, I'm not super smart, so remembering all those numbers and channels and all that makes it real difficult for somebody to create an order.
Yeah, understood. So Brian, short answer per order type, we usually don't hard code. Okay, this order type only can be usable by this sales organ, distribution channel, and division. We usually don't do that. Just in case your company is keep growing and more sales organs or companies are selling fleet, right? So we want to make sure the same type of order can be utilized by everyone. So usually we don't restrict it that way. However, I would say for individual, I'm working, all the time under fleet sales. And this is what I will do. I will come to I will come back again, just show everyone settings, okay? And here I click on default values. So if I do this, you can see I do have many parameters. This could benefit everyone from finance end, from purchasing end, right? From controlling end, and also from sales end, right? If I'm always working under sales, I can fleet sales, I can always say, hey, my distribution channel is 30. The chance for me to deal with the other distribution channel is very minimum. If that happens, I will manually overwrite for that case. But majority, I want a 30 to be defaulted. I want a 01 to be defaulted. Okay, and in many cases, if you really works for a certain sales order type, you can see, oh yeah, I only want to deal with a fleet sales order. I don't want to deal with other sales order. Usually I don't. If that's the case, you save it. Okay, so after you've done this, and now if let's open up this manage sales order again. And from here, I just want to give you a quick testing here. If I create sales order, yeah, so you can see I come to here directly, and my order type is already defaulted to fleet. Where did it come from? It's coming from the the setup I just made. For example, I'm still trying to sell to, this is Sketcher, sorry, Sketchers. Yeah, I'll show you. See, this is what I coded in my defaulted value, and it always flows in all the time, right? If I don't like it this time, for example, very rarely I would say, no, today I'm not gonna work for fleet. However, I'm gonna work for you know, a solo. If that's the case, then you just manually change it, because otherwise, each time you're on this screen, it will read the default parameter. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Let's start with a quotation. So in that case, actually, you know, we can go to sales quotation group. I'm not sure it's there. Yeah, sales quotations. Where's my sales quotations? Let me just search by quotations. Manage sales quotations. This is the tile. Yeah, so I come here. Fleet quotations is the defaulted criteria. Yeah, you guys can set up exactly same thing as I did here, just the filter by quotation type QT. And I do have a repair quotations as well, so I can check. So repair quotations starts with number 2, and fleet quotations start with number 3. So we segregate that as well. If you can see, there are some quotations already existing in the system, right? And the status is open, and the quotations expired, so it's now in red. So if this quotation valid 2 is still good, it's not expiring yet, so it will be in green. However, it's achieving it's approaching its deadlines, then it may turn amber as well. Just the system trying to give you a different reminder. Okay, so let's create a brand new one. Create quotation. You see, just now, because I set up the sales parameters in my default profile, it comes in, right? Quotation type I have to put in because I didn't set this up as default parameter yet. So quotation and then continue. Okay, so of course the customer who I'm gonna to send a quote to, right, would be in this case if a Skechers wants to buy something. Let's see, quote August 27. And yeah, what are the materials that they are trying to buy? Of course, the solo, right? So they will buy EV solo cars. However, because it's a fleet, the quantity could be 5, okay? So once you press 5, you come to this screen. So this is because we're selling solo. So this is the customized, you know, the variant, right? We need to assign a color, which one they want. They want red, okay. And do they need wrappers? Do they need to do the upfitting? Well, you definitely will negotiate and consult what's their preference and requirements. So for example, they want to do customer wrapping B, you select it. And for example, if they want to do solo car upfitting and it's purely custom, you can do this one for them.
I have a quick question. What if a customer wants to have several different colors? Does it give you an option to pick, since they're buying 5, like 2 red, 1 white, and 1
Yeah.
white?
So per this line 5, right now we only have 1 color. So what you can do, I would say, if you go back and you see, hey, this line is for red. However, they want 2, right? And you can create another line, had another 3 for white, right? So then you are actually selling 2 red cars and another 3 lines of white cars to them. So right now the color is fixed per line. So in that case, you just need to spread out the quantities. Making sense? Okay.
So that so when you click the new line and you add the quantity, you have to go back in and then change the color.
Yeah, well, color is always blank and ask you to enter one, right? So once you press 3 on the new line, it will ask you assign a brand new color.
Okay, got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Great question, Amy.
Yeah, so for this one, maybe you even need a different type of wrapping. You can definitely do that. Well, it's all flexible. It's all up to you as a sales guy. Okay, so this is your quotation. So for this one, I would just for demo perspective, let's delete this line and just keep the first one. So we're selling 2 red solo cars to this customer, and of course, this customer would say, "Oh, I want certain of course this is a quotation, so you offer this price, you offer this sales deal, maybe it's only valid to end of the month. Say, hey, you have to come back to us by then, right? Because this quotation won't be valid all the time. So you put in a validity too, and then on this material line, you can double check your price. I think that's the major thing. See, when I selected customized type that is called a wrapping package type B, you see the surcharge for that type B is coming in, and it says, okay, for type B, this is your surcharge. If you want to switch it to type A, how do you do it? You go to configurations, more configurations. From here, you will say, oh, what about if they choose type C? What would be the price? And then you press enter. See, type C is now choose, right? Let's go next screen. You see, for type C is cheaper, right? It's $1,960. And well, sorry, that's for 2 cars. For 1 car, it's just $980. Yeah. So that's how it works, right? And oh my gosh, what does this? This is did we miss one? So the pricing is we used to have a PR00. Why PR00 is missing? Condition record had been deleted. Who did this? Did I? Okay. In this case, see pricing date, we don't have a valid basic price. Was deleted. Someone did this. I might be me. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Interesting. Okay, let's before we go forward, this is a great opportunity. Let's see if you run into any errors of pricing is wrong, because currently, yeah, looks like our config price is awesome, right? Based on different categories, it's charging the customer some money. And however, we are missing basic price PR00, which is if I didn't remember wrong, is 18,500. Okay, let's maintain it. So let's open up another section and go back to SAP home screen. So there is a price setup. Actually, it's on this slide. We are a little bit jumping further just because we're right into the pricing issue here. So there are 2 tiles you can leverage. One is called manage price sales. The other one is called set material price. So the first one is more dashboard reporting tile for all the pricing conditions. The second one is the one you can create or update or delete your pricing conditions. So let's take a look. If you go to homepage, let's run the first one. The first one is called manage sales. Manage sales price. Let's open it up and let's have a look. We are looking for basic price, so PR00, and we are looking at particular today, right? Because we're cutting order today. And it's on sales organization 2100, distribution channel 30, which is fleet, and the product, of course, is solo, right? So it's this guy. Let's have a look. Oh, nothing. So that explains why I ran into an error, because apparently there is one record previously but being deleted by someone, could be myself. Okay, so if that's the case, it's okay. Let's go there, maintain the price for solo under these conditions. So we are a little bit jumping ahead here to work on how to set a material price. Let's go to set material price. Material price. Okay, so this one. Open it up. Right now we are on the change mode, change pricing conditions, right? However, because we have zero pricing even valid, so let's create one. If you go to condition create, switch to the here is the thing. If you want to create a brand new one, you want to give the price per material. It's just single, like for solo, I'm gonna always sell it 18,500, no matter who's coming to buy it. Or there are different options. You want to give a very unique or specific basic price to certain customer. For example, if a Sketcher buy this, the basic price of the car will be 18,500. However, if a Pizza Hut comes in, I will give just the 18,000. Well, so you want to have different price, then you can choose this one per customer. However, if you say, yeah, doesn't matter per everyone, I just give a straight price per material, then you choose the last one. This one is something you want to differentiate by customer group. For example, hotel, resale, big customer, small customer, you want to segregate by different customer groups. You can do that. I heard we will do the third one at this moment. Our price of a solo will always be sorry, I shouldn't delete this one. Solo should always be 18,500. Okay, per each. And you see when I enter it, the price is valid starting from today, okay? And up to forever. Or if I say, you know what, this is just the price good for end of this year, then you can do like this, right? And yes, guess. Okay. Still no valid date. Come on. Let me just pick it from the calendar then. Okay. All right. So see, that's the thing. If I want to maintain even for next year, I foresee this car gonna be sold at 19,000. Yeah, I can even do it for a different time period. I would say starting off January 1st, 1 and 2022. And yeah, I just wanted from next year forever. Oh, I see. It's a little, it's disappearing, but I believe it shouldn't go wrong because it's a future one. And based on this creation, it probably, well, I think you should be able to. Let me. Just be on the safe side, we will condition with the same key is already being processed, or we probably already have one existing, you know, having the same validity. So system will ask us to pick one. Yeah. So in that case, this one may not be a good time for us to enter it. We may already have one. Okay, let's save it. If it's not good, the system will remove it automatically for us. Okay, but at least we created something for today, right? Condition record saved. Now let's go back to the other tile, the manage price. Let's have a look. Oh no, this one, sorry. This one, manage price. Okay, so if we click on go, condition type is PR00 price, and yeah, we just did it for fleet 3001. Oh, that's customer. Oh, that's product. Sorry. One, I forgot, solo. So it's this guy. Click on go. See, valid. If I don't put any valid date on which specific date, it will be able to pull everything out, right? So you see, I actually was able to save this both record. First one starting from today to end of the year is 18,500. Second one is starting from next year, January 1st, up to forever. We foresee it may be a better price. So yeah, you can split this one into more. For example, per year, you want to have different price for next 5 years. You can by all means set it up. Okay, so now we do have a price under this specific, you know, distribution channel. Let's go back to our sales order. Now let's update it. Click on B, carry out new pricing. It's coming in, right? So based on today's date, so the price is 18,500. So it's coming up, right? So yeah, so these are all there. I mean, it's all pre-configured, like I just did, right? I pre-config all this for you, but the chance for you to change this, yeah, wouldn't be that frequent. If you do need, follow the method I just show you to do that, right? Of course, if you just want to do one-time adjustment, let's just say when you are selling to Skechers, well, Skechers choose type C, however, not necessarily everything follows type C, but close. So they say, hey, 980, no, I don't like it, or yeah, it's actually I did something less than type C. Can you give me a better price? I just want to show you, you do have the chance to override it. If you have to, you can, right? But if you don't necessarily, you just leave it as is. Another thing is deposit match. Let's say they went to Tesla, they put in some down pay there, and then later on they come back to you, say, hey, can you please give me as discount because I already put some deposit at Tesla. Then they give you will ask them how much you put there. If you put $500, they're gonna match it. So you put $500, it will become a discount, will be deducted from the overall price. Okay, that's how you use it. And you know, a whole bunch of other stuff like well, documentation fee, destination fee, those didn't set up for fleet yet, but it's all on the list. So if you see, hey, for this particular one, I want to charge them registration fee, for example, you just pick it and then enter how much amount you want to charge them. Say, hey, $35 each. So in that case, if you scroll up, you can see registration fee had been counted in as well, right? And that's how you build your, you know, your pricings. It's per different customer, per different sales transaction, right? And for example, this customer would say, yeah, because I'm a big account or whatever, can you give me some discount? Or yeah, So we do have a very specific one just for fleet, and this has been pre-aligned with finance, so it will go to a very specific GL in the future. So if you want to offer something just particular for fleet sales, you can say, oh, I want to charge $100, or maybe just doesn't matter how many cars. I want to give you one time $1,000. See, this $1,000 can work. If you go back to this one fleet, it's called a surcharge / discount. So you can overall charge them $1,000, which could be a surcharge if they just request something additional, or you want to give it as discount if they say, oh, I'm a big customer, can I get one-time discount? And you don't really see a nice title to hold that discount, then give it to fleet discount here. Then as long as you put a minus sign over there, it will be deducted. Okay. So it's pretty flexible. If you want it to be positive, you just don't put a minus sign. If you want it to be discount, you put a minus sign. Yeah, so that's basically how you control your fleet pricings. Any questions so far? All right, awesome. Okay.
Question. Where would we, I don't know if it goes here or somewhere else, but where would we capture additional notes about specifics on what they want regarding upfitting or wrapping or whatever?
Okay, so good question. These are the pricings we just did, right? Of course, if a customer give you a whole bunch of requirements to say, hey, my wrapping needs to be done 1, 2, 3 steps, and my upfitting has to be done blah, blah, blah. So you can put a very specific, upfitting, text here, and you can put, you can also, why is specific? I put upfitting here in the wrapping. I would see this is for wrapping, and this would be for upfitting. Okay, so you can enter it.
And so when this is generated into a PDF or print format, will these notes appear on it as well?
Yeah, it will. Okay. Yeah, just put it there. And if you really need I believe copy paste will work. If you have a whole bunch of long verbiage or whatever, just Control C and Control V, put it here. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. And now if you go back.
Hey, Nicole, I have one question here. So if the customer is asking for a wrapping program, and do we have the price list set up in the system, or we have to type in the price?
So Lily, we just said on this wrapping, because currently the wrapping instructions here, right? For upfitting, there's $500 if they choose customized one. Well, I mean, this is always overrated, can be overrated.
So that custom upfitting is wrapping program, actually?
I think type C, this one is the wrapping, this is the upfitting. So far we set up 2. One is wrapping, one is upfitting. The first one is upfitting.
Okay, so the type C is actually the wrapping program, type C.
Yeah.
Okay, so if they choose type C, there should a price come out from the system, or they just type the price?
I just show it's coming from the system. However, they can override it. So this 980 is coming from the system. And I'll show you, shortly here, how do you maintain. This is called a variant-related pricings, right? Because based on different options the customer go with, the price could be different, right? So we give different price per type A, per type B, or type C. But for customer upfitting right now, we only have one generic placeholder, so we only give $500 for now. We didn't segregate to different levels. I'll show you how we maintain that. So let's save this sales quotation first. Yeah, so you save it. So quotation 3004 had been saved. Okay, execute. You can exit and it will show in your dashboard. Carry the validity to already in amber. Why? Because we are approaching August 31st very soon, right? It's almost expiring. System will change it to yellow. However, if it's something you still have a pretty decent expiration date, system will make it in green. So everything more than 10 days, it will show in green, okay? Yeah, so now let's go back to, Lily's question. What about that variant price? So for basic price, it's always PR00. I just, so for variant related price, it's always VA00 called variant price, okay? And for variant, the sales organization we're talking about here is still fleet 30 and product. So far in the system, only solo will have variant price. For all the rest, like parts, services, you will never have variant price. It's just for solo. Okay, click on go. We don't have a lot. We just have 4 lines. So these 4 lines basically explains Lily's question. So for customer upfitting, and this one customer upfitting, we even did this $500 per Skechers. So we can give a different option if it's because it's customer upfitting. It has to be per customer, right? We can set up a different one for a different customer later on. Maybe could be 750. And these are more standard. Type A, B, C, those are 3 standard wrapping packages. That's what I heard. So you see the price. The prices were provided by Cine, I think, a while ago. That's why type A is the most expensive one, and B is in the middle, and C is the cheapest. Yeah. So if we want to change them, if all of a sudden you want to add a type D, how do you do that? You definitely can do that by using our, let's open up another one. It's called set price, right? Set your price. Okay, so now if we do VA00, and VA00 is the variant price. Let's see, now Skechers asking a whole lot of things to be done. Not just the $500 would be able to cover that. If that's the case, let's try to change this $500 to something else. VA00, and because we can see from this one, it's a Skechers, right? So we know it has to be the first one. It's a particular customer. We are maintaining a price. Click on choose. You can see the sold to party is even defaulted here, and the material, and that's particularly valid on today's date. Execute. You can see $500. This is the $500 match this record, right? Now you want to say, no, Skechers asking a lot. Let's charge them more. You want to do 750. And in that case, you save it. After you save it, you come back to this one and click on go again. You can see 750 now overwrites the previous 500. Again, if you go back to your sales quotation, because you already have $500 over there, right? So you click on this condition again, update, and carry out new pricing. You can see 750 comes in because you just updated, and your quotation is still open, right? So it needs to be refreshed. So you just come here and always update the price. So this is called condition technique in SAP for all the pricings. It will always go to the current active price with the right validity, and then find it and update your current open documents. Okay, so let's save it. So now you updated your customer upfitting to $750. So same thing for the rest of these packages or wrapping surcharges. If you want to change, just change like I did. Okay, and you can always go back to your quotation to update it. All right. So we did the quotation, we did the pricing maintenance. If the cut, oh yeah, let's show the team after you save. Well, we create the quotation. Later on, we change our mind. We update the price on the quotation. Now it's a perfect timing. We feel, oh, this quotation is done, and we are able to issue it to the customer. How do you do it? Okay, so you do it. This is actually which step? It's it here. So you will yeah, it's there. Send emails to the customer, right? Sales quotations and the sales orders can both be sent to the customer when it's ready. So you go to one tile called output sales document, this one. Okay, go here. And you can see it's already plugging a whole bunch of numbers from my buffer because I was keep working on this document. So now click on get variant, see fleet quote, fleet SO sales order. So let's pick this one. So if you put a fleet, so it only updates the parameters on here. Of course, this is not the right fleet quote number we are looking at. So these are all conditions you can build by your own. But let's see, right now I'm just wondering how many quotations I have, and I would like to send out. Well, maybe with the Skechers. With at least with a third party, so it won't be a whole lot, right? Execute. Okay, you can see our fleet quotations just created today is showing up here. So 3004. If I think it's already, I will take a look at how it look like in the process. You can see now it turns in green, right? So turns in green, this means it's sent to the customer's email. And that email address is built in this customer's master data. So Skechers USA, as the business partner sitting in our system, they always have an email address. All right, so if I show you in the backend by process it and make it green, this is what happens in the backend in the system. You won't have access to here. It's a very technical place, but I'll show you. So by making it green, system will automatically send this invoice to the customer. Because right now I have my email address built in this customer Skechers, so it send it to me. And well, you can see it's like this. So you have a whole bunch of verbiage coded here. You do have payment instruction attached. You do have solo fleet quote, the one we just looked at together, right? You previewed it already. So it will show up here. Because inside of SAP, if we look at these quotations, tax. So tax is another huge topic. You can never imagine how much effort I spent behind the scenes talking with the tax people. So we are not determining this tax inside the SAP. There is a third-party software called OneSource. They are determining the tax for us. So what they will do is they grab this BP, this business partner like Skechers. The Skechers, this customer had a very specific location, and you know how U.S. Sales tax being determined. It's even per postal code, right, per street. So based on his particular address for that SOTO party, then OneSource will look up their side, the tax table. So you can see we actually charge different rate on, charge different rate per levels, right? So we give 6% on state. Well, not we give, it's OneSource. OneSource gives 6% per this state, 0.25 per Los Angeles, this is county, and then 1% per, well, I believe this is a city or something. So again, so from our end, these are all coming back from a third-party software. It's not SAP. If they give us 3 lines, we will have 3 lines on the quotation. If they give us 8 lines, we have to output all 8 lines over there. It's just the there.
So it's basically just the breakdown of the total tax amount. So if the Los Angeles tax rate is 13 point whatever percent, it's basically going to put what each percentage is going to, basically.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So gotcha. So it's just a breakdown of what, like, the actual the total amount is. Okay. That's
quotations, right? So you create the quotation, you update the pricing, then you send the quotation to the customer. And just
back to the sales tax, because I think customers like to see the breakdown. Is there any way that you can patch through the name exactly the way it is on the quote to add that titling? Because some people pay state tax, but we might accidentally have like a city tax that they'll say, hey, wait, I don't pay the city tax, because it's not always very clear, where they're like, yeah, I this tax here, I don't get charged, where at least when it breaks it down, they can see.
So you mean you want a breakdown, but
we want the breakdown, but we want it to say what it is on the other one.
Code area, look at this, we got from one source. It's not specific either, right?
Well, it kind of does, because you can see that that's the first one is the 6% is the state. The second one is Los Angeles County. The third one is Los Angeles City.
And you just have a few lines for county. Okay. Well, I just basically need the team align on one option so I can talk with the developer. So now I heard maybe we can keep the breakdown lines. However, if we can print these descriptions, will be better.
Correct.
Okay. And another thing is you look at the SAP standard setup. It only have very limited, lengths. And I believe depends on the city, the locations, how complex it is, it can overuse this length, right? So now you see our county is being cut off, city is 2. So I was wondering,
could we add more spaces into that description area through SAP? Make it like, I don't know, 30 characters versus whatever, because people do like to see how you're breaking down their tax on a contract, because some people will go back and forth saying that, I know that the software is like great, but some people fall into different scenarios that they're saying, I get these taxes, but I really don't get this tax. You know what I mean? This tax really isn't correct for this area. Customers know how much their tax is when they purchase. Believe it or not, they know down to a penny what their tax should be.
Yeah, so this is not something we can control from SAP side. It's more from one source. So I have to circulate back to one source team, asking them if they can give us a better, explanation of these, catalogs. How do they charge on different levels? Yeah, that's something I can definitely check. So if they could adjust this one, make it more, specific and detailed, that would be great. Another thing is back out our previous decision. We still want to, so we talked about the document flow and quotation. Now we're happy to, if the customer comes back saying, yeah, sure, let's carry on, then we will convert this quotation into sales order. So how do you do that? You just basically select this quotation and create a subsequent order. And when you click on create subsequent order, always choose the last second one from the list is called a fleet sales order. Click on OK. Yeah, so that's your fleet. You see, you don't need to do anything. It's just copied every single information, detailed one from your quotation to here. So price is all copied over, everything. And yeah, well, you probably just need to give a reference because your customer reference could be a SO number or a PO number, right? So it's different than before. And now it's a sales order. And at this stage, you might need to change something, but may not. So if that's the case, you can just simply save it. Yeah, you see, when you save that as fleet sales order, you can display right away. It has blocks like a pending confirmation and a pending for down pay here. Is that correct to Lily and the Brian's team? Because for fleet, we always have this kind of oh geez, I forgot to let's see. So on the quotation side, you may already did that, but if you forgot, we can always have do it from here, from the sales side. So if you think this is a sales order and you will definitely request customer put some down pay, use this down pay request amount, either by amount or either by percentage. So you will say 15%. Okay, so that is 6,600-ish. You will request them to put in. And if you forgot on the quotation side, not a big deal. You can still add it on the sales order. Or you want to delete this sales order, go back to your quotation and add it there, and then copy back again. It's okay. It doesn't matter. It's really it's not something, sales order is still the final documents. Quotation is there supporting it. So yeah, if you put 15% of down pay, Lily's team will see it from the managed sales order dashboard as well. So Lily's team will say, oh, okay, I need maybe wait for this $6,000 from the customer. And once I received it, so Lily's team will go back to the sales order and move the billing block to the next stage, maybe for pro forma, right? Pending for pro forma. But the first step will be pending for down pay. And click save. So this sales order is created. Now, if we go back to manage sales order tile, and let's go to fleet sales order. You see, this is the one we just created, right? And it has billing block for down pay, and it has delivery block even pending for confirmation. So this one, I think Brian's team, you have better say at what stage, maybe when you create a loose link or a hard link, you will change it to related delivery block. But at this moment, it's just, blocked, simply blocked for delivery. And yeah, so from here, I would say, Yan from finance will say, oh, I want to gather the down pay. She will deep dive into the sales order, figure out how much money she will grab as down pay, and the process from finance end. Any questions so far? Okay.
So Nicole, when we do the down payment for the customer, could we print out anything from the system to give to the customer, hey, you need to pay us? I think we discussed those couple of times.
Yeah. Hold on, Lily. So we didn't go there yet. So we just said we save this sales order, right? And if you forget put down pay, like I just did, we put down pay request into the sales order. Then we think this sales order is good to go. What do we do to inform the customer this sales order now is done, right? So we will still come back to this tile, output from orders. So this one actually works for both quotation and orders. Now we click on fleet sales order. So you see order output type is switched. Sales document is even defaulted in, but I can remove it. So to party is Skechers. I leave it like this and execute. You see, there are a few sales orders I'm working on, hasn't sent to the customer yet. So for the very last one, we just work together. Let's print preview it. Let's process it. It's green, so it's going out. If we go back to SAP and refresh our email puzzle depository, we can see, oh, it is being sent out. Well, a whole bunch of recipients received it. Yeah, not just me. Because Brian, I think you also mentioned that your team wants to be added as a order confirmation. That's why we did this. Okay, so your team will be copied on this as well. Okay, so now if we display this order confirmation we send to the customer, you can see from the verbiage we're asking for deposit is non-refundable, and this is up to date. Yeah. And we do give them payment instructions so they can pay us. Okay. All right. I think we pretty much covered both quotation and sales order management for fleet. Of course, delivery team and finance team will also participate in this end-to-end session to help deliver the car for us and also bill the customer. But I think for today's session, we are mainly focusing on quotation and sales order. Now let's take the very last 20 minutes to quickly go through the reporting side. I know if everything's synchronized to Salesforce, you may have more options on that end to run other kinds of reports. So from SAP perspective, there are few quite nice reports. If you're interested, you can also run. So per quotations, there's one, you already saw manage quotations. That's your dashboard. And you can also run this one called a quotation flexible analysis. So what you will do is you go to SAP and put the sales quotations. It's this guy, flexible analysis. So you can do this. I don't want to choose this Design Studio one. Let's choose this guy. Yeah, so for quotations, I doubt you will use this. This is very powerful, like a business intelligence tile. For quotations, if quotation is just a temporary document or it's like a supporting document, you may not need to run this flexible analysis on it. It's just the first time I open it up, it will take longer. But later on will be much better. So quotations, if I do it for fleet 30, okay, and if I click on go, and why it has all zero US dollar 28. Okay, so let be created on overall result. Let's have a look. Open quotations. Yeah, this one carries a whole bunch of zero data. Doesn't make sense. Months of quotation. I'll definitely double check why this one always carries zero data. I never tried before. Let's go to a different one, sales volume. Quotation is the flex analysis for quotation. We do have one called sales volume, that's per sales order. Let's do that one. So you do have a few. It can give you the capability to analysis open sales or credit memo or profit margin. Let's use this one, flexible analysis, and USD. This one looks much better. How do I filter just for for fleet sales? I would say, for example, I can even search by certain SO2, right? Those are all the key figures. If you wanted to pull to the report, it depends you wanted to put it on the rows or the columns, you can just check it, accordingly. For example, I want to see per, which one is a good one? Sales org. Oh, sales org is already there. Okay, I shouldn't take it off. I think I just take it off. Organization. So sales org, I put it back. What about the distribution channel? I put it back. So if I put distribution channel back, you can see this is solos. This is vehicle parts fleet. Yeah, so per month, of course, this is dashboard, right? And if you even want to check, okay, who created these ones? I want to put it on a column. I probably can. Yeah, I just need to take a while, I guess. Okay. Yeah, this is who created them, right? So you can see for fleet, only myself is creating a whole bunch of fleet sales orders. Yeah, so I mean, this is a pretty, nice report. And if you have any figure you particularly want to look into, for example, profit center, you just click on either put it on the lines or on the rows. It will come up, right? The related profit center. We just turn it on. So yeah, that's all here. Yeah, any questions on the reporting? So this volume is pretty good. It's per sales order. Definitely, I'll look back why the quotation one is not working that great at this moment. But I think for now, focus on the sales volume. That's your real sales order numbers. And another one I want to introduce is called My Sales Overview. If you come here, search by that. That's a quite nice tile as well. Especially as a sales guy, right? You just simply want to look at something, you are working on. So, for example, I have a particular customer I want to follow up, or I just have a particular distribution channel I want to follow up. I haven't set up one for fleet yet. Let's set up one for fleet. Okay, click on go. You can see these are the numbers. If I want to say, okay, for Skechers, what are the numbers? Oh, still, because we only tested Skechers so far. So there are 20 in order status. There's 1 in delivery status. And yeah, there are some quotations in the pipeline. And if you want to create a sales quotation, these are the quick action icons you can click on. And here are the open sales order dashboard. These are the charts like of the open sales order amounts, right? If you want to check 1 year, what it look like, and how many quotations going to expire, and yeah. So this is a pretty good, I would say. It's like a dashboard. You can work on it. Yeah, I think that's pretty much covers everything I want to show you today. Any questions?
I have a quick question, Nicole. Do the dashboards that you showed us on SAP, will they also be shown in Salesforce by any chance? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I guess won't, Rodrigo, because Salesforce is completely a separate software. we set up integration, calls between each other. For example, if we have a sales order in SAP, we want to pass on to them so they can see certain information of this sales order in Salesforce, because even based on the definition of sales order in two different systems, it won't be exactly the same, right? Maybe I call it divisions or 01, they call it something else, right? So I would say the chance you will see exactly same thing on Salesforce is gonna be minimum. But if you use Salesforce as your reporting system, you probably just need because we have to map, right? Based on certain condition. If we have a fleet, for example, we have a fleet distribution channel 30 here, we have to map it to a Salesforce related, they may not call it distribution channel, they may call it a different thing, but we have to map it. So I believe we on Salesforce and you will just run based on different criteria.
Okay, no worries, thank you.
All right. Any questions? That's cool.
So Nicole, when do we going to have the end-to-end test for fleet?
That I can double check with Will. You mean something like the last Thursday we did together, Lily? All the teams there, and then everyone trying to execute their own steps.
I would expect, but you were saying that's going to happen in the end-to-end test, and today we just cover the water and the code, right?
This is a particular training session for fleet sales team. Yes. So
yeah. Then you said whatever else is going to be covered in the end-to-end test. So I just wondering when that's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah, definitely we'll circulate back to Will, see when he can help set up one.
Thanks.
Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, I guess we can finish our session a bit earlier than expected. Chris, do you have any other things?
Nope, I think you covered everything, Nicole. We've taken down some notes throughout the meeting, so we'll be circling back with each of those points. But if there's no other questions, we can give back 10 minutes and call it a training session.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.